Hi everyone, it's me. So today I wanted to cover 27 British things that I can't wait to experience. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I am Canadian, but I'm living in England. I only recently came back to England. It's a long story, it doesn't matter, but I have been in quarantine for the last 2 weeks here in England, and somebody on my last video, and I wish I saved your name, I'm so sorry. I'm taking your idea and I didn't save your name. My apologies. Somebody on my last video suggested I do a video about the British things I can't wait to do once I'm out of quarantine, now that I'm back in England and all that fun stuff. So I have come up with 27 British things that I can't wait to experience, once I'm out of quarantine, and also now that I am back in England after being away for most of the year. Does that make sense? Good. Now these 27 things are not in any particular order. Okay, so just throwing that out there. So without further ado, let's go. So number one of the things that I can't wait to experience is hearing that beautiful local accent. So for me, I am down here in Kent, and it's one of the things that I actually noticed first when I was at the airport. I had been in Canada for 7 months. I had landed at Gatwick, and I could hear everybody speaking in that beautiful accent once again. Of course, the UK has a million accents, of course, you know, but it's not a Canadian accent. It's not a Canadian voice, which is what I've been used to for so long. And being back in the UK, being back in England, and hearing that accent, it just warms my heart. So I'm really excited to eventually leave the house and hear that accent some more. Number 2, I can't wait to go to a pub garden. Yes, of course, you knew this was going to be on the list. A pub garden, but just as the leaves are changing, and here in Kent, the trees go this beautiful, red, yellow, orange, very similar to my home in Ontario. So I can't wait to go to a pub garden when the leaves are changing. It's bright. It's an actual sunny day, which is kind of rare, but I know it's going to happen. Sitting out in a pub garden, having a pint of cider. The leaves are beautiful colors. It's sunny, not hot, obviously, but it's comfortable, and I'm so excited. Number 3 is going to a local cafe and getting a coffee with my friends. It's just chill and relaxing and calming, and maybe get a bacon roll too. Haven't had a bacon roll in a long time. Number 4, one of the British things I can't wait to experience now that I'm back home in England and out of quarantine very soon is complaining about the weather. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait being at a shop or being at the bank or something, and someone says, "Oh, that weather, eh?" And I say, "Yeah, it's been raining all day, of course. We were supposed to be going out, but it's raining." And yeah, I can't wait to complain about the weather. It's a fond pastime. Number 5, avoid eye contact with everyone. Now, I know this is more of a south of England sort of thing. The Northerners always like to tell me that they're far friendlier and nicer than the south. That's fine, but I can't wait to be out at the shops or whatever, public transportation, maybe on the train, and just not make eye contact with anybody. I can't wait. Number 6, saying that I'm just gonna pop to the shops, but then I'm gone for hours because I get stuck in traffic. Unfortunately, down here in Kent, there is a lot of people and not a lot of space, and the roads were not built for this amount of people, so sometimes when you want to go someplace, even though it's like a 3-minute journey, if there's an accident or there's really bad traffic or it's rush hour or whatever, you could be gone for quite a while. So I'm very excited to experience that again, getting stuck in traffic. Exciting stuff. Number 7 is buying a round at the pub. Now, of course, life is a little bit funny right now. I don't know if you know that there's this whole virus going around in the air. So I'm not running back to the pub when my quarantine is done. I'm okay with waiting, but I do really miss going to the pub, maybe on like a kind of a stormy day and you're inside and it's got beautiful wooden ceilings, like beams and stuff, and it's very historical, love it. And I buy a round for me and my friends and we just hang out and drink and just relax. I miss that a lot. Now, of course, Canada, where I'm from, has pubs, but it's just a different experience. They're different. They're not They're not real British pubs that have that real community, local aspect to it. We're not gonna dive into this one. I'll be here forever. Anyway, I just miss buying around for my friends. Number 8 is having a day out at a local castle or a heritage site. One of the things that I love about the UK, and people always ask, you know, what's that thing that really sets the UK apart from Canada? And to me, a lot of that comes down to the history and the architecture and the fact that you can visit castles and cathedrals and heritage sites all over the place. There's a lot to choose from. So I'm really excited once I can get out of quarantine and when things are, you know, a little bit safe. I'm really excited to get back out and visit those castles and those cathedrals and those heritage places and those national parks and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm really excited. Number 9 is train beers. Yes, that's right. You're going out, maybe you're going to London for the night or something. You're on the train with your friends. Guess what? Train beers. Having a beer on the train. I know you're not supposed to, but usually nobody tells you otherwise. Just, you know, have a train beer. Exciting. Number 10, a British thing I can't wait to experience again is getting proper fish and chips. You know, proper fish, proper chips, okay? And let me say this once, and I will die on this hill. If you give me mushy peas, I will cry. No mushy peas. I have teeth. I have functioning teeth. Garden peas, please, okay? But fish and chips, yes, please. Of course, again, we have that in Ontario, but it's different here. Number 11, being at the gym and being too awkward to ask somebody if they're done with their equipment. Yes, that's true. I actually love going to the gym. A lot of people say, you know, I eat garbage on this YouTube channel. It's true, I do. So I have to supplement that by going to the gym, which I actually do enjoy, even though at the beginning I always hate it. I do enjoy going to the gym, but I always feel so awkward asking people if they are done with a particular machine so I can finish my workout. You kind of like hang around and watch to see, oh, you know, are they done? Are they leaving? Have they left their phone there and they're coming back? Like all that stuff. So when gyms are, you know, maybe a bit safer to go to and whatever, I'm really excited to get back and have some really awkward social moments. Number 12 is ordering a food shop delivery and thanking the driver like 8 million times. I know technically their job is to deliver my food shopping order. I love shopping online for food, like getting food deliveries. I think it's fabulous. I know technically that's their job to deliver it, but I always feel so guilty and shameful for having done it that I have to thank the driver a million times and in a variety of ways. You know, cheers, thank you so much, that's wonderful, that's great, thank you, like just over and over again. The 13th British thing I can't wait to experience is queuing for literally anything. I don't even need to know what the queue is for. I'll join it. That's fine. Number 14 is having a full English. Yes, it has been a long time. And yes, you could recreate that in Ontario, but there's something very special about having a full English, of course, in England. For me personally, hold the tomatoes and honestly hold the mushrooms. I don't need the fruit and veg, just give me everything else. I want the toast, the eggs, the bacon, the hash browns, the beans, the good stuff, the sausage maybe, yum. You can go ahead and keep the tomatoes, keep the mushrooms, but I'm really excited to have another full English. It's been a long time. Number 15 of the British things I can't wait to experience. So this is a little bit of a story. I hope it makes sense. Every week when the rubbish bags go out for collection, it's either a fox or a giant magpie want my rubbish. I'm sorry, they are there constantly. You have to guard the bag so they don't try to get in it before the binman can collect it. So it's something that I've missed while being away in Canada, is basically fighting for my own rubbish bin. Fabulous. Number 16, of course, when I see that magpie, you have to say, "Good morning, Mr. Magpie. How's your wife today?" you hope that nobody sees you say it, but you have to say it. And it's definitely not something that you'd hear in Canada. Number 17 of the British things I can't wait to experience is getting ill. Of course, getting ill is not fun, but you get ill and then you down some boiling hot Lemsip and then you pass out later in the evening on night nurse. Of course, medicine is pretty much the same in each country. There's different names to it, but there's something that makes me just think of home in England is Lemsip and night nurse in the winter times. Night nurse has looked after me many a time. I hope I don't have to see her this year, but you know, if I do, then I know she's gonna look after me. Number 18 is hearing some of my favorite British slang. One of the things that I find really separates Canada and the UK as a whole is the amount of slang. Here in the UK, I probably will never discover all of the common slang words and phrases that you guys use. There's just so many of them. So I'm really excited to hear that again. Even some things is like, a delivery person calls you love. You know, it seems so common to Brits, I'm sure, that you don't even notice. But for a Canadian, it just feels like a really nice, just British thing. You know, so I'm really excited to hear the British slang again, especially at the pub. If you need to learn new slang, go to the pub. That's where the best ones are said. Number 19 is going to Marks & Spencer and topping up on all the new posh crisps they have that I haven't tried yet. Now, if you've been on my channel before, you probably know that I do some videos of like taste testing different sort of British sweets and treats and foods and all that kind of stuff. And I really do. Marks & Spencer is expensive, yes, I know, but they do typically have the best crisps, and they've got these crazy flavors, and they're really posh and wonderful. They're just fabulous. So I love going there, not even just for crisps, like going and just trying the weird stuff that I've never had before. They always have different kinds of stuff, and I'm just really excited to get back in the grocery store, buying food that I probably don't need, and trying it. Number 20 of the British things I can't wait to experience is finally getting to sit down on my big old gray couch, sofa, whatever you want to call it, and watching some of my favorite panel TV shows. Comedy panel TV shows are very much a British thing, I believe. They're not something that you see that often in North America or specifically in Canada. So, I mean, would I lie to you is probably my all-time favorite. You sit down after a day at work on your big gray sofa. Maybe you got a bag of posh crisps from M&S that you haven't tried yet, or maybe some sweet and salty popcorn from the Co-op, yum. And you just sit down and you watch Would I Lie to You, or Have I Got News for You, or QI, or any of those types of shows. And they're wonderful. I love them. Number 22 on our list are pub quizzes. Of course, things are a little bit funny right now, and I probably wouldn't recommend going to a pub for a pub quiz in person just yet, but that's something that I'm really looking forward to in the future. Settling down at a local pub, trying a new pint, being with friends, doing a pub quiz. They're really silly and funny, and it's just like a really nice thing to do in the evening. So I'm really excited. I hope they come back sometime soon. And I never win, so that doesn't really matter, but it's still fun. Number 23 of the British things I can't wait to experience is going for a country walk, maybe in a new park or a new area, with the very extreme and very real threat that you might get rained on at any moment. Now, living in England has taught me to always keep an umbrella in my car. You just always have it with you. And if I was going out and I had more of like a backpack type bag, I always had an umbrella in it. But there is something very funny about trying to go for a country walk, you know, being out in nature, getting some exercise. But there is a very real threat at any point in the year that you go out that you're gonna get rained on. So you just have to accept it. Number 24 on our list is a very specific situation, and I'm sure you've been in it either as one person or the other, but let me explain, let me set the scene, gather around. You're walking on a sidewalk and there's someone that's walking in front of you. They're walking fairly quickly, but not quite fast enough, so you decide to start walking extremely fast, uncomfortably fast, so you can pass them. That's a struggle because they're walking like a bit too fast, so you have to really, you gotta haul it basically to get past them, and then you have to keep up that speed for a while so you get far enough ahead of them, and then you can slow down. And it's just, it happens to me on the high street all the time. You just get stuck behind someone who is just slightly too slow, just slightly, and you have to really walk extremely fast to get past them, and it's this weird awkward thing that happens, but it always happens to me on the high street. It's hilarious and uncomfortable and embarrassing, and what better British thing to experience? Number 25 is somebody asking me, "You all right?" And after 5 years, I still don't know how to naturally respond to that. I know logically how Brits respond to the "you all right?" Yeah, you all right? That whole type of thing. I've seen it a million times before, but still naturally, instinctively, in the moment, never remember how to respond to that. So I can't wait for somebody with a beautiful accent to ask me, "You all right?" Or maybe a "you all right, love," to add in some of our British slang, and it will just feel like I'm back home again. Number 26 on our list of British things I can't wait to experience again is going to the cinema. Now here, especially, down here in Kent, you book your seat, right? So you know exactly what seat you sit in, which I love. Not all cinemas in Canada do this, which is really annoying, but I love it. You book your seat, and then being so filled with worry during the opening credits and things and the commercials that you are sitting in the right seat, because there's nothing worse than someone coming along with their little ticket and they tell you that you are sitting in their seat. You feel so much shame, so much guilt, embarrassment. You might as well just leave the cinema and never come back. So I'm very excited to get back to the cinema, get my sweet and salty popcorn, hell yes, and then sit in my seat and be panicked for the first little half hour that I am sitting in the wrong seat, even though I've checked it, and even though I know that I'm in the right seat. The thought still lingers. And finally, number 27 on our list of British things I can't wait to experience is going to a friend's house, or maybe you're at the pub with a group of people, or whatever, you're in some sort of social setting and you really want to leave. It's time to go, so what do? You say "right" and you slap your legs. There's something so definitively "I am leaving now" than hitting your knees and saying "right" and getting up, and everybody knows that you are leaving. Maybe it'll take you 10 minutes to do the goodbyes, you say goodbye a million times, but you hit your knees and you say "right," and that's time to go. So those are 27 British things that I can't wait to experience. Both getting out of quarantine, but also being back here in England after being away for such a long time. These are a lot of sort of day-to-day things that I miss that maybe people don't consider when they think about living abroad. Living abroad is the day-to-day stuff. That's what it is. Of course, there's big trips, there's big exciting stuff, but when it comes down to it, it is your day-to-day life, and it is those things that I have missed the most. So I'm really excited. I'll be out of quarantine. When this posts, I will finally be out of quarantine. I'll be running around the streets. Probably not. I'll probably still be at home, but I'll have the option, which is great. Now, some of the things I would have included on the list, but I technically have already done, are I've got my favorite Chinese takeaway, crispy shredded chili beef and salt and pepper chicken and chili chips, and maybe a chicken chow mein if I'm feeling special. So I've already had my Chinese, I've already had my favorite Indian, I've already had my favorite local pizza. Let me tell you, I've been eating a lot. I also, on my Patreon account, live streamed, baked a Victoria sponge to celebrate being back in England. If you want to check out that type of content, please check out my Patreon. But yes, I live streamed a Victoria sponge, and let me tell you, I ate that too. So overall, I'm just really excited to just sort of get back to my usual life here in England. It's been a long time. I've had my quarantine sort of 2 weeks now that I've just been at home, but I'm really excited to just kind of get back into the swing of things. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Please stay safe. Just, you know, hang out at home if you have to, if you can. Otherwise, I hope you're having a lovely time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all your support. This year has been a crazy one, and I'm kind of just excited to just get back to it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!